What is up, everyone? This is the Jose Show. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Monday. I surely am. And of course, we have a lot of good stories to talk about on today's episode. So now let's get started, shall we? Now let's start off with Naomi Judd. Unfortunately, Naomi Judd passed away this past Saturday, and she was an iconic country star and one half of the mother daughter duo, the Judds. Now, she took her own life on Saturday following a long-time battle with mental illness. At 76 years old, multiple sources confirmed a rep for the late singer hasn't commented. Now, Naomi's daughters, Ashley Judd and Wynonna Judd, announced their mother's death in an emotional statement obtained by People on Saturday. Today, we sisters experienced a tragedy. We lost our beautiful mother to the disease of mental illness. We are shattered, we are navigating profound grief, and know that as we loved her, she was loved by her public. The statement read, "We are in unknown territory." Now, an additional statement from Naomi's husband of 32 years, Larry Strickland, read, Naomi Judd's family requests privacy during this heartbreaking time. No additional information will be released at this time. Now, Naomi was a longtime advocate for mental wellness, and she wrote an open letter for Mental Health Awareness Week in 2018, shared exclusively with People. And for everyone mourning the death of someone who committed suicide, an inevitable question arises. Why did this happen? Unfortunately, we don't have very good answers, wrote the musician at the time. We do know that suicidal behavior accompanies many behavioral brain disorders such as schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, and depression. Suicide is actually one of the leading causes of preventable death among these mental illnesses. Now, to understand this issue better, we have to bring the study of suicide into mainstream neuroscience and treat the condition like every other brain disorder. Continue to note. People who commit suicide are experiencing problems with mood, impulse, control, and aggression, all of which involve discrete circuits in the brain that regulate these aspects of human experience. But we still don't understand how these circuits go haywire in the brains of suicide victims. End quote. Okay, so that's what Naomi Judd said a few years ago in a note. And I personally feel like this is not just very sad and devastating, but I also think that this is something that should be a wake-up call to all of the other people out there that have been experiencing the same effects that Naomi Judd experienced. And this wake-up call is basically saying, if you haven't gotten mental help, get it. Get it, get it. See a therapist, see a psychologist, see someone. Because the more you get to see someone, the more you are able to take care of yourself, and the more you are preventing yourself from doing stuff like suicide, for example. So please seek help immediately. It is very, very important. And I also have to say that if you go off and you have the most depressive thoughts in your head, or if you are going through the most crazy thoughts through your head that are blocking you from doing anything from your daily life, then you might as well just seek help. And not just help, but also exercise, go out for a walk, go out and meet new people, get distracted with something that will make you happy, like a favorite TV show, something, but do something that will really distract you and that'll really make you feel happy and that'll really, really make you feel that you are in a better state of mind. Definitely. So anywho, that's one of my biggest advices for all of the people out there that are going through a mental illness like this. And I think that the more we also get to experience good things in this world, the more that we get to be surrounded by good people in this world, I think the more it can also affect the person's mental health in a good way. So that's another thing that we have to look at this as, because unfortunately in this world that we live in, there are a lot of mean and nasty people out there that will take advantage of other people and that will say rude things and say very nasty things, and that will really take a huge toll in the person's mental health, that then the person starts to have these suicidal thoughts, and then this person starts to feel super depressed. So it's also the people that we are surround ourselves that are the main causes to how we feel in life. It's not just what we think, but it's also what we surround ourselves to. So that's also another thing that we have to look at this as. So, anywho, rest in peace, Naomi Judd. Unfortunately, she had to go through this horrible situation, which is depression. And may she rest in peace. And she will forever be remembered, and she will forever be cherished. And of course, her legacy will live on. All right. So now from Naomi Judd to now more hot topics. So now let's talk about some interesting stuff, shall we? Let's talk. All right, so now from that to now, TV shows that are getting canceled and renewed this year. Well, as we all know, we are in that time of the year, ladies and gentlemen, where we get to find out which TV shows get to make it to the fall and which TV shows don't get to make it to the fall. Well, here are a list of shows that are getting canceled and are getting renewed for this year. Well, as television attempts to get back to as close to a normal schedule as possible amid an ongoing pandemic, that means the broadcast networks will continue to make difficult decisions about the fates of their shows. While some are lucky enough to earn multi-season pickups, some are not. Well, anywho, sifting through all the TV news can be an overwhelming task, especially with the sea of shows dropping on any given day, which is why we're here to help make your lives a little bit easier. Well, here are a list of TV shows that have gotten canceled and are getting renewed. All right, so Abbott Elementary is getting renewed. The Good Doctor is getting renewed. Grey's Anatomy is getting renewed. Holy Moly, The Rookie, and Station 19 are getting renewed. Now, that's one of the shows. Now, the final season of Blackish is going to be airing this year, sometime this year, which is going to be sad for all the Blackish fans. Now, another list of shows that are getting renewed this year are The Amazing Race, Blue Bloods, Bob Hart's Abishola, CSI Vegas, and Georgia Fox returns with Mark Heigenberger in the show, but William Peterson is not going to be back. Now, Ghosts is going to be on renewed. NCIS is going to be renewed. NCIS Hawaii, NCIS Los Angeles, The Neighborhood, Secret Celebrity Renovation, Survivor, SWAT, Tough as Nails, Young Sheldon. And then the shows that are getting canceled are Bull, after Michael Weatherly intended to leave, Love Island, new US version ordered at Peacock. Those are the shows that are getting canceled. Now, for the CW, the shows that are getting renewed are All American, The Flash, Kung Fu, Masters of Illusion, Nancy Drew, Penn and Teller, Riverdale, Superman and Louie, Walker, and World's Funniest Animals. The shows that are getting canceled are Batwoman and DC's Legends of Tomorrow. Now, for Fox, the shows that are getting renewed are Bob's Burgers, The Cleaning Lady, Duncanville, The Great North, Hell's Kitchen, Housebroken, Lego Masters, Master Chef, Next Level Chef, So You Think You Can Dance. The shows that are getting canceled are The Big Leap. From NBC, we have the Blacklist, Chicago Fire, Chicago Med, Chicago PD, La Brea, Law and Order, New Amsterdam, and That's My Jam that are getting renewed. The shows that are getting canceled are Ordinary Joe, and the final season of This Is Us is going to be aired this year. Okay, so those are the list of shows and that are getting canceled and that are getting renewed this year. Now, this is what I personally think about all these shows that are getting canceled and that are getting renewed. I personally think that it is very cool that a lot of these shows are getting renewed because, I mean, a lot of these shows that are getting renewed are really cool and they have really good actors and they have really good scripts and plots. And I also think that these shows have really changed the lives of many people that have watched these shows because these shows really reflect on the real life of people that have been going through so much in life and that have been dealing with daily stuff in life, especially. And I also think that these shows are not just shows that are reflective, but are also shows that can also fix relationships in life because of how much these shows definitely reflect on so much relationships and how much they show on how relationships have to deal with each other in a daily basis. You know, just like with This Is Us, for example, that's another show right there that has really reflected so much on relationship lives and so much on daily lives, not just relationship lives. You know, especially because Chrissy Metz, she is such a good actress. She has killed it on that show with what she's been doing, how she's been doing it. So she is awesome. She is a phenomenal actress. And I also think that the shows that have gotten canceled, now I think that these shows, they were also very good shows in my personal opinion, and I feel like it's sad to see that these shows are going off the air. But they're going off the air obviously because it's not having a lot of viewership. And when there's no viewership, I mean, it's not really worth to still have a show on the air. It really is not, you know, because the more the show has less viewership, the more the show isn't making any money, and that's a problem right there. So that's what's really going on in that sense. Now, I also feel like it's not just the shows that are getting canceled and renewed like crazy this year, but it's also the daytime talk shows. I mean, we already have Wendy, The Real, Nick Cannon, Ellen, Maury, and a bunch of other talk shows this year that are getting canceled, and they're from Fox. And I mean, that right there is crazy. Definitely crazy. But those are talk shows. Those are not sitcoms. But yet again, those are shows too. And I also feel like that's pretty insane that those shows are getting canceled. So, as far as what I'm seeing here, is that there is literally a huge shakeup going on here with all of these TV networks renewing and canceling these shows. And it's sad and it really is. But we also have to look at the perspective and we have to look at the points of views of these producers that are behind these shows. Because these people, these producers, they work so hard to make sure that these shows are good enough for the viewers and that they are worth enough for the viewers to watch. And they also work day and night to make sure that these plots are good enough, especially because without the good plots, there isn't a good show. Let's be real here. And that's what really is going on here with these shows, you know. And unfortunately, there's just some directors out there, some producers out there that they expect to have a really good show and to have a really good viewership because they think that they really did a really good job with what they were doing with the scripts. But in reality, they really didn't do as good as they thought they did, unfortunately, because the viewership is low, you know? So this is really like a competition here, and this is like a game here when it comes to TV shows getting canceled or not getting canceled, having the best ratings or not having the best ratings. So it is what it is in this situation here. And I think that we as people, we also have to acknowledge who are the good actors and who are not the very good actors as well, because the actors also have a lot to do with the ratings of the show. It's not just the plot, it's also the actors. So that's another thing that we have to look at this as. But anywho, I really am just waiting and looking towards the fall. Definitely am, because in the fall we're gonna have see a new schedule with TV shows, and we're gonna see new talent, and we're gonna see how it's gonna work. You know, so let's just wait and see for the fall of 2022 how things are gonna work out. But for now, congrats to all the shows that have gotten renewed, and may everything turn out well for all these shows. All right, so now from that to now, more hot tea. So now let's talk about Tom Cruise and Lady Gaga. Well, Tom Cruise and Lady Gaga exchanged kisses while posing at her show. Well, apparently, Lady Gaga had an A-list guest at her Sunday show. The 36-year-old singer took to Instagram on Monday to share pics from the night before, featuring her backstage with Tom Cruise. In the shots, Gaga and the 59-year-old actor exchanged kisses on the cheek. In the first pic, Gaga, dressed in a sparkly black tuxedo, kisses a smiling Cruise, while the second shot shows the actor dressed in all black returning the favor. Now, Lady Gaga got to say, "Thank you for coming to the show last night. And I love you, my friend Tom Cruise." That's what she said in a post on her Instagram. Now, the sweet shots come after Gaga announced that she wrote and sang a song for Cruise's upcoming film, Top Gun Maverick. The track Hold My Hand is a love letter to the world, Gaga previously explained. "When I wrote this song for Top Gun Maverick, I didn't even realize the multiple layers it spanned across the film's heart. My own psyche, and the nature of the world we've been living in," she wrote on Instagram. "I've been working on it for years, perfecting it, trying to make it ours. I wanted to make music into a song where we share our deep need to both be understanding and try to understand each other, a longing to be close when we feel so far away, and an ability to celebrate life as heroes." Now, Gaga added, "I'm so grateful to Tom and Hans and Joe for this opportunity, and it's been a beautiful experience working with them." All right, so this is pretty amazing how Lady Gaga got to invite Tom Cruise to one of her shows this past weekend. And I personally feel like it is really cool when we see another celebrity support another celebrity, one celebrity support another celebrity, especially in a show like this. Because I feel like the more we get to see this, the more we're giving a good example in Hollywood of what it's like to actually be supportive and what it's like to actually show love, especially in the world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, we've gone through so much hate lately. We've gone through so much ridiculousness lately that I think that it's now about time we get to show compassion and love towards one another. And another thing that I have to say is the fact that Lady Gaga got to work with Tom Cruise for his soundtrack of his upcoming film, I think that is pretty iconic right there, because Lady Gaga, she is such a great singer, she's such a great songwriter, and she has a phenomenal voice, especially when it comes to ballads and when it comes to these empowering message songs. It's always Lady Gaga that gets to nail it. She does. I mean, other artists nail it too, but especially Lady Gaga. And I personally feel like Lady Gaga, she definitely, I can tell she was so happy, and she did it out of love, having to work for a film that was by Tom Cruise, especially because the both of them are really good friends. And I think that the fact that Tom Cruise got to choose Lady Gaga, not only was it a very good idea, but also I feel like it was something that I think came from his own heart. And I think he was like, you know what, I feel like Lady Gaga's gonna do really good. I feel it. I definitely feel it here, and I definitely think that this is going to be a success if we choose Gaga for my soundtrack. And I'm pretty sure it's gonna end up being a success, especially because the song is by Lady Gaga, and also the song Hold My Hand, which is going to be by Lady Gaga, and it's going to be in the soundtrack by Top Maverick. And it is going to be released today, so stay tuned for that. And it is going to be a hit, I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you Lady Gaga monsters are going to stream it like crazy, and you guys are going to buy it like crazy, because I mean, after all, I can imagine it's going to be a very good song, and I think that it's going to be a very good day for Lady Gaga, of course, now that this song is going to get released. Well, anywho, congrats to Lady Gaga, and congrats to Tom Cruise on the coming of his new film, The Top Maverick. Well, it's called Top Gun Maverick, and it's going to be in theaters May 27th, so please stay tuned for that, all you Tom Cruise fans. All right, so now, from that to now, more hot tea. So now let's talk about the girl from Plainville. All right, so the girl from Plainville is having her final makeover as Michelle Carter. Well, the girl from Plainville, Hulu's true crime series about the texting suicide case, is coming to a close after 8 episodes. Ahead of Tuesday's series finale, E.T. has an exclusive sneak peek of the episode as Michelle Carter Elle Fanning shares an intimate moment with her mother, Cara Buono, while getting a haircut. Now, in the scene, the two share a momentary bliss of happiness before having to return to court one final time. Over the course of that story, Gail and Michelle are unable to connect despite my desire to be a good mom and try to reach out to her, Buono says. Now, and that was really the moment. In fact, the only part of the story that I touched her, she continues. There's a moment where I actually physically touch her, and I feel like for the first time that she feels like no matter what, her mom is still there. Her mom is always going to be there for her, and I think that's important for her and all teenagers. End quote. Now, the scene also sees Fanning undergoing her final transformation as Michelle with her final haircut, once again recalling Cara Delevingne with whom she bears a striking resemblance. As Michelle's mother, Buono witnessed the evolution of Fanning's looks as embodied Michelle over a 7-year span. Just watching the different stages, from the long hair to the wig to when we're in the courtroom, I would be transfixed by her, she says. Now, also, as she physically changed and her emotional level changed, I would find myself kind of getting lost in her complete embodiment of the character, Buono adds. Now, she wasn't the only one taken by Fanning's dramatic transformation. Co-creator Liz Hanna says it was scary watching the star appear on set in full costume and makeup, most notably during the courtroom scenes. And she even said that it was like seeing Michelle walk in, she recalls. All right, so this is pretty amazing and this is pretty interesting. I personally feel like this is actually pretty cool how Elle Fanning got to nail that role of Michelle Carter. I definitely think so because, I mean, this is a movie about a true life case that happened a few years ago. And we as people, we want to see movies be real, or at least seem to be real, 100%. Because we, the people, we want to get not only entertained, but also we want to really see what really happened in the film. We want to see what really happened between the people in the film, especially because we literally think that this is a very intense case and this was a very sad case, what happened between Michelle Carter and her boyfriend back in 2017 when this whole entire texting suicidal situation happened. Because I mean, this really had a lot to do with the fact that Michelle Carter had to ruin everything, especially for her own boyfriend. I mean, it was just too sad just to know how someone would do such a thing, and I don't even want to go into detail about that, but just too sad. I mean, because that right there is just coming to show that that person, Michelle Carter, wasn't really being a friend or wasn't even being a good girlfriend to the boyfriend. She was just being someone that was definitely trying to encourage someone to do something ridiculous, something wrong, something evil, something just awful. And that right there is just very, very unacceptable in all levels in life. It really is. So with that being said, I personally feel like Michelle Carter, she deserved to take she deserved to be held accountable for her own actions on what she did. And I personally think that Elle Fanning is definitely showing a really true example of what it's like and what Michelle Carter really went through in real life. And I really think that the fact that Michelle Carter really made her, well, Elle Fanning really made herself look like Michelle Carter, and the fact that one of her co-stars got scared of seeing that she actually looked like Michelle Carter, really just comes to show how good these makeups are and how good these people are at doing these characters so well, especially, and it also just comes to show that Elle Fanning is a really good actress, and the fact that when it comes to doing shows or movies like this where it's about life situations, true life situations, it's like mixing the life situation with the movie. It's like literally living it all over again. It really is. So that's what it really is coming to show here, which is the reason to why Liz Hanna got really scared and she was like, holy mackerel, I cannot believe that she is really looking like Michelle Carter in this show. This is pretty, oh my god, shocking to see here. you know? And I mean, the fact that she was in the courtroom and they were acting, I mean, it already made it look like they were literally in the courthouse in real life, when in reality it was just all acting. So, anywho, um, when there is good acting, when there is a good plot, and when there is a good setting, that just comes to show how much of a good job the actors and the people in the movie, the actors and the people that are working behind the movie are doing a very good job, and that they are very dedicated and they are very caring of what the viewers are trying to say or are wanting to see and stuff like that. So that just comes to show of a lot of things right there. So anywho, I really am happy though for Elle Fanning's success for being in the sitcom, and I really am happy for the fact that she was able to have the opportunity to play a very important character from a very important true life series that really should reflect to a bunch of people, especially to a bunch of teenagers out there that have been doing so many bad things to themselves and that have been just going under bad influences, especially. So, anywho, congrats to Elle Fanning, and I really hope the success for this series to go on. Elle Fanning, you are phenomenal. The rest of the cast is phenomenal. All right, so that is it for today's show, and I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Jose Show, and I really hope that I get to give you guys more hot tea, which I'm pretty sure I will be, in the next few episodes. So please make sure you guys follow me on social media, and please make sure you guys also get to reach out to me if you guys want to on Instagram. So, anywho, that is it, and I really hope you guys have a lovely day. Till next time, peace.